you won't have the time that you need.
Yeah, they need at least one other hero on their team that can create space. Ogre's like a lane space creator, Batrider's like a team fight space creator, but they needed somebody else to be aggressive, and just carries, late game carries with Bloodlust isn't going to be enough to win you that mid game, which is really where they choked a lot.
They need like a Jug, a Luna, something more like that. Even PA I think would work well.
Definitely agree.
I'm just bringing up that draft. We already got some bans underway. Let's quickly recap what we got
Nyx
there.
again.
Again, no Rubik's.
So...
And Timber, and in response, SK and
So
Rubik.
there's still Batrider. If Faceless want to first pick
Attack
Batrider,
yeah.
LGD I would completely expect to just do the same opener with Oracle OD. But
do you think if Faceless don't pick it, do you think LGD take it?
Probably. I think so. Yeah, I think they would definitely take it.
I think so too. It kind of depends on what hero they grab instead, but
because then they don't need the Oracle necessarily.
Why the Rubik ban? Like,
it's just something that they picked a lot. That was
the trend.
just a trend. Same with their Forever Young team. Rubik. So they don't go for the Batrider.
They go for
Ogre. Ogre. I don't really think you can go wrong. I remember some of the pros casting out of some, and they said for Ogre is a great first phase, but not a great first overall. So that's there's varying opinions on it, just because.
Why is that?
They said it doesn't like. I don't know.
But that's what they said, yeah.
I forgot what exactly they said.
I would say it's
it's
like a jack of all trades, but it doesn't do one thing amazing. I mean, you could say Bloodlust does that, but then you'd have to move your whole strat around that.
Warlock.
Or you give away too much.
Hey, there it is.
What happened to Warlock doesn't get picked in
I
time?
mean, first game he didn't.
I feel
That's
like
true. You were right half the time. Come on, Ben.
I think if you're going to do a safe first pick, I think Warlock is by far better than Ogre.
Yeah,
personally.
I agree.
Oh my goodness.
So I think Faceless already is off the wrong foot on that one. Legion Commander, not too unexpected for LGD. This is a hero that they played in the regional qualifiers as well. I think maybe played it a few times.
Yep.
Went fairly well. But I think the hero is all right now, but has some lackings in that if you don't get some dual kills in the mid game, then you end up being an kind of like just literally a team fight
Just
hero.
a disable, right?
Not a very good carry. So I feel like there's been a lot of, maybe less so this tournament so far, but a lot of the top teams really know where their opponents are at most of the time. So it's harder for Legions to get those easy duels like you do in pubs.
Yeah. We just find people wandering around on their own.
I mean, LC is actually their fourth most picked or banned for LGD. Big
wow, they've
fans
gone
of
for
that.
OD.
It also protects them in case Faceless go back for the Batrider after the first pick. So I like it a lot more than like Warlock Oracle. I don't think you really want to go for your first two support set quickly.
I agree. And the OD pick, obviously, because duel. If whoever gets dueled, you banish one of the two guys. Buys you 4 seconds, and most likely the duel damage doesn't go through.
So the big question is, does Ice get Batrider again here? Is that not the case? Not going to happen.
It's kind of scary against Legion, because the second skill, you can just remove stuns from somebody, so that kind of makes Batrider worse. And you can also remove Sticky Napalm. There's a lot of good reasons
not to.
You do a 1v1 though, Batrider Legion. I feel like Bat could do that. It's a little, I actually don't know. If you traded a lot level 1, level 2, I feel like Legion would win that.
Yeah, I think LC would win. Not hard, but
so
she shouldn't die.
It might be worth Faceless just banning it.
Do you think it's because she can farm with her Q so easily that it's not like he can't?
I think the pressy attack is really good. Like Slark's really good in lane versus Bat because you can take off all the stats.
Yeah.
And you would always trade better with him. So if he has Firefly and uses it, then you can't really trade. But after that's gone, then you just abuse him.
But that's a matchup that we've never seen.
Yeah,
first time for everything.
So we'll see if Faceless bans it. If not, somebody's getting Bat, most likely.
Coming either way.
I think that a Faceless should ban it if they're not going to pick it.
If they don't, they go for the Razor ban. So that means they're worried about their OD matchup mid. They've also got Ogre Magi, so that means that pretty much no matter who goes mid is going to have a hard time, assuming Ogre spends some time there.
What is it that Ogre does to just cause
harass
mid or just
He's got
harassment?
8 FN armor. It's actually insane.
He can harass them
That'd be
really
much it.
easily.
Just walk
zone
in,
them
just
out.
He just sits there. He's like a bodyguard.
Yeah.
So
he's a
got
bouncer.
2 heads instead of 1.
Yeah,
How do you beat it?
It's a good point. And he's blue.
And he can go for like a double headbutt.
Yeah.
I mean, that would. I imagine that would hurt.
Yeah.
Blue fat.
Which one
remember?
do you
Blue
shoot?
fat.
Blue fat.
Which
Did you guys know
headshot do you
that?
headshot first? What about blue fat?
Blue fat. That's
what
actually
they call him
that's the
in
Chinese name for Ogre
China.
Magi.
Blue fat.
They have the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weaver's ant.
Really?
Ant.
Don't they call it a lifesteal like the monkey or something, right? Because he kind of crawls along
What
the
happens
ground.
when Monkey King's released? It's going to get confusing.
I'm sure they'll make up another.
No, Monkey is Phantom Lancer.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I forget what.
I definitely heard.
Lifestealers-
I'll have to check the winter, but I definitely heard something about they refer to Lifesteal because of the way he walks along the ground.
Oh,
There's
fair.
a reference to that.
Maybe it's like dog. No, they
Yeah,
call him
no,
dog,
I think
don't
it's
they?
Oh, it's
dog. Yeah,
dog,
dog.
Even though it's a man.
5 seconds
What?
remaining.
Well, it's based on Warcraft 3 Ghoul.
Oh,
It's like
okay,
a little
yeah, fair.
zombie dude.
Zombie dude who likes to crawl.
Reserve time.
We should probably get back into the draft, shouldn't we,
Nope.
boys? Luna's back. Hey.
Warlock
Yeah.
Luna is a very popular pairing. Wings sometimes opens with it. Just a very strong team fight, and you're okay with pushing with a Luna because you have the Warlock ult to back you up.
Yeah.
So
And it makes your
it's-
laning so safe because Luna normally is weak to run at you heroes that just die for her, but with Warlock heal on top of her, it's like free tango and a half every cast.
Yeah, it's a surprisingly good complementary pairing.
Free tango and a half. That's funny. Just because I'm imagining them handing out cans of tango. Did you have that in America?
Cans of Tango?
We
Tango.
have- it's not
You know
a-
They
where
don't
get
have
tango.
tango.
They
They
don't-
don't have tango. Over
Oh.
there.
That was like a thing.
We have Tang.
It's like
Tang?
Tang.
It's not like Tang.
It's
No.
like Fanta, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Just
he's
call
got
it
it.
Tang,
Yeah.
That's right.
Tango.
I just had this image of them handing him out cans of pop. Never mind.
Many colors.
Oh,
You are really playing the
Awesome.
waiter role today.
I am. I really didn't think this through. Okay, so Kotl's coming in. I honestly don't think we've seen it in the main broadcast here. That's the first. I mean, it's been banned. I don't think we've seen it drafted.
It's not been often.
I saw him picked yesterday. I think I was
it on the
I was
secondary
broadcasting.
stream? Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably on secondary.
What's
stream.
what do you think is the purpose here? Anti-push, obviously, because they'll be able to take towers with Luna Aura. Blinding Light's pretty good against duel. They can push the golem away as well. Mana Leak's all right this game.
Yeah, I don't like it this game because press the attack. Press the attack is so good.
What about like recall to move around?
It depends on who
Is
they
that
want to move
the-
around,
Is that
like-
the advantage?
I think. I mean, we haven't yet seen the pairing too. We've seen Keeper Bristle. We saw Keeper Timber yesterday. So maybe just it could even be Keeper Naga because Black likes his farming heroes. We're not sure yet.
That's true, and that would delay the game, obviously. Maybe that's what they're aiming for. Last game, they wanted to take it later, but they couldn't because they just got too ahead. Throw a cuddle on top of that, and goodbye pushes.
Could they even go for Medusa again, do you think, Faceless?
They could.
Are they going to
but
want to though?
I think without the Trial
terrible.
Ranger, it's much worse.
Hmm.
And I think Naga is just like you don't have to play as much as a team.
Hmm.
I wouldn't want to do some mid versus out Legion or something, but I think it's okay with Caudle.
Yeah, I'm just thinking the mana and everything like that.
With Snake and Blast, every push dies. If you get dueled, it's not super scary, I would say. Kind of, because you can't ult. That part's not good.
Right.
But I think they would run into the same problem as last game, where like no one's doing anything. Like no one's running around killing people.
Yeah, do something, damn it.
Yeah.
They need some do something heroes.
That's
I like,
what we
I like
call
the
it.
jug idea.
Do something here.
Do something heroes.
Kind of.
Yeah, do shit heroes.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I don't want to say it. I don't want to.
I think we're allowed to say
We are,
that.
yeah.
I didn't want to be on the line.
It was in some of the videos.
You can be a night. You can.
They didn't bleep the S word. So, Wisp.
I mean, we're video gamers. The amount of profanity that gets thrown at us on a daily basis when we try and play games is
It's true.
That's true. Or other people in our team.
Yes, yeah.
So IO kind of a cool pick here. Just they can aggro dual lane with Legion IO now, so or they can put it mid or whatever lane they want to, and it's going to help offset a lot of the mobility advantage that Caudle provides Faceless,
Okay.
just through recall. So
Do you think as well the relocate with Legion means that what you were saying about it's harder to catch people out now with the
Yeah.
IO Legion, it's like, oh, we'll
you'll
catch
duel
them over here.
everybody.
Yeah,
pretty
anywhere.
much.
Yeah.
Kind of. They don't have super good control without the Legion, so maybe it'll be hard sometimes.
They can
Omni.
also push very early on too. They have 3 heal. And the Wisp and the Luna, so I think they can just like if they see Faces go super greedy like this, you can just go okay, we'll push high ground.
I think
at
this
20.
is greedy. I mean, I feel like they
It's
grab.
not anti push. Omni's I think super weak early, first 15 minutes especially.
I don't completely agree there.
Ooh.
Because I feel like LGD's damage right now is a little lacking outside of
Okay.
Eclipse and Fatal Bonds. Whereas if you throw an Omni on top of this, then whoever gets dueled is less likely to die. You basically have 2 people that can save now. You got OD and you got Omni.
But that's just LC. Drop Rock, Fatal Bonds, Eclipse. Omni can't really do that much versus that.
Okay, that's fair.
But yeah, he's very good versus LC. LC is very nullified, I think, in this.
You know what I think determines a lot of this is Caudle blending light. Because if that's what you're saying happens, and Caudle can come
Yeah.
from the back and just push Luna away, so that the Eclipse doesn't actually trigger, then their damage is gone. That can make a big difference.
What is Black going to play? Actually, Black sometimes plays OD, so that's not completely out of the question. But it seems like they want something much harder with the
No.
Omni Knight.
Well, LGD banned Sven, so obviously they think they might have gone for something like that. I
That
could
would've been
see Sven would have been pretty good, I think.
They need like a strong survivable frontliner
Yeah.
physical carry. Drug, yeah, I would have liked Sven a lot. That would have been really good.
Wraith King. That would be good.
That's
I think.
not terrible.
Because you get the mana from OD.
That sounds
and
so surprised, Perch.
Kotl, and he's just.
And if you
tank.
get dueled, you're still alive anyway.
Yeah.
I think that's a hero that might not be picked this entire tournament.
He has been picked already. I
Watch
believe.
this. Watch
Support.
this. Wraith King
Oh, okay.
incoming. I
Do you
bet you.
expect that
I
one?
bet you $1, Ben.
No.
Make it 5.
I don't think it'll be Wraith King, but if it happens, I think it'd be kind of okay this game.
Hmm.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good.
Come on, boys.
Weak disables on LGD. Upheaval would wreck it, but nobody skills that early, so...
Did you just put for a set though? He's pick like Pugna last and just go high ground.
Yeah, that might be better.
Ted, you're at the Dota casino now.
I'm just.
You put all your chips
the
in, you
roulette
put all
wheel
your
is spinning,
chips.
and the little ball is bouncing on the outside. And I just want to see it land on one of my favorite heroes.
And do you think Black's really saying right now, pick me Wraith King? I don't think
Can you
so.
imagine him saying that, delivering that line?
I can.
No,
You can't?
not Wraith King.
Guys, get me Wraith King.
Just
And
give
they'll
me
be like,
I
"You
want
guys
the game.
don't
Why
care."
is he
Right.
Arnold
Shut up.
Schwarzenegger? Why is he?
He just is. That's what
He's
he sounds
Arnie.
like.
He's German.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, safer.
All right.
Kind of
What an
frontliner.
anticlimax.
Very good against Warlock IO if he finds him solo.
Did you
very
almost
good
fall
against
off your
that.
chair?
No, don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
That would have been hilarious.
Do we have the wide shot for that one? I hope so.
That would have been
I like the way you went, oh, like that, like Kenneth
I
Williams.
could have said nothing and no one would have noticed.
No, that's
I did
true.
have a little wobble. I did. Whew. Okay. One
I
more.
like the Slark pick. Its duel's very good against it. That's the downside. Legion's really good against Slark in that way, but if Slark is ganking other heroes, it's fantastic.
Hey.
Oh,
There you
there's
go. Twitter question
another
asker. SF picked not only previously but also in this game for you.
Getting that Shadow Fiend. And so it's all locked in. We have our draft, and I think the quick question before we do bring your casters up is, do we see a third? People doubting Faceless. I don't know, Kevin's already written them out, but I mean, we haven't heard from you, Ted. Just finally
I
from
backed Faceless.
you did.
But LGD really kind of wrecked them in the first game, so I'm going to say 2-0.
He's going for the 2-0. All right, casters, it's time to hear what you've got to say. There's another 2 pair over there.
Thank you very much, Alex. Indeed, Faceless versus LGD. Game 2. The drafts are complete. I'm excited. We're going to see Black on the Slark. We're also going to see maybe Shadow Fiend. And I'm excited for this because we saw what he could do on the OD. He was having this absolutely star-studded performance in Game 1. If he can pull it out again on the SF, it's going to be even more flashy because SF is a flashy hero.
Absolutely, SF's a fun hero to watch. It's maybe not too bad of a matchup against the OD. Can do very well against the Slark if you catch him by surprise with all the AoE damage. If he gets on top of you, you throw a Requiem at him. So it's the kind of hero I could see maybe shining on this game, but we'll see what Black can do. Because you mentioned him, and I think that's the right play to mention as far as who needs to step up from last game. Black farmed well, he didn't really die too much, didn't do anything wrong, but he also didn't do enough right when it comes back to having an impact on the last game. So he needs to step up his game. He's playing a more aggressive, involved hero, the Slark, rather than the Drow this time around, which can kind of look to create space for jabs to farm away on the OD.
Yeah, other little things that I'm interested to see. Obviously, overall drafts, we've got something pretty different from Game 1 for both sides. Notable things, though, Victoria on the IO. We saw how good his saves were on the Oracle in Game 1. Well, it's going to be all eyes on him on his IO performance here in Game 2. And then, obviously, with over on the side of Faceless, as you said, things to point out. Black on the Slark. Jabs on the OD, maybe saying, all right, OD, it's a strong hero. Maybe you had a good game with him in Game 1. I can do the same here in Game 2. But as you said, lane matchup is going to be a little harder for him in this matchup, do you feel?
It's okay for the OD, but again, I think it's okay for both sides.
Yeah.
We'll see the IO helping out the Shadow Fiend in the middle lane. We'll see the Ogre helping out the OD. Probably advantage Faceless there as far as having an Ogre sitting mid, throwing Ignite at Shadow Fiend. That's where the IO can only really do so much, and they will get the early D ward. Nice sentry being planted down towards the mid lane, so early gold going maybe's way. Even that one soul, that bonus 2 damage. Game-changing stuff. But yeah, both teams will get a bounty rune, and it's not going to go to the SF though. So that's
give it to Luna.
Well,
I mean, I guess
SF
Ice was...
wasn't,
yeah,
SF
it was
wasn't going to get
close.
there in time. Luna had to take it, or Ice would have snagged it. So not ideal, but he got the money from the D ward at mid, so maybe that's basically a banner rune in itself.
And some nice warding here from LGD, because obviously they themselves got the D ward, but Jabs, he drops his sentry, and it's not going to catch any of the warding that LGD's laid down on this mid lane. But obviously vice versa, where maybe he might have to worry about the vision game. He does have to worry about the fact that there's this Ogre, as you said, sitting mid, chucking Ignites at him.
Yeah, it's not very fun, and Io's not even going to try and help out that lane. I think Io recognizes the lane you can't do much and is going to go towards the top lane. We saw the Io bat right lane yesterday from Newbie, and this is kind of a similar concept where you chuck Io in the off lane, MVP it with the Io Bristle, and it just creates this lane where the safe lane really struggles.
I mean, how does a Slark farm against it? This is pretty nasty.
He doesn't. He tells his team, he begs his Ogre, come top, ignore it. This basically, by having the Io top, forces the Ogre to leave mid lane. lane. So this helps maybe do better in his lane, and it also contests the Slark's farm. That's why sending the IO top's a really good move, but to make sure you don't get caught out by these ganks.
Nuts. Coming in, making this one into a 3-for-2 and just getting a fair few punches onto Victoria, backing him up. But Jijing and Victoria will be more than happy to turn around and give him a fair bottom lane, Ice. Managed to get himself a couple of CS out of this. He's got level 2 as well, but as we're seeing, it is a risky lane for him. He has to be very, very careful how close he gets.
As well, which is a misplay there, so he's going to be pretty low HP in this lane.
Over towards the mid lane, CS at the moment, very close. It pretty much bang on even between Maybe and Jabs. Despite that early presence of the Ogre, Maybe's been fine. He's keeping on par with the OD, and he might have a bit of trouble coming in now. Nuts will be there to follow through the Astral with an Ignite as such, but won't be enough damage to bring down Maybe. In fact, Maybe just will turn and give a few punches. Not going to look to throw the razors out as of yet.
Could have hit him with a double raise, but that wouldn't have been enough, and no mana for a third raise. If he gets a triple raise there, that's a kill there, but okay. Tanky to the physical damage, not so tanky against the nuke damage, and I imagine, he's going to go Suicide to Roshan, so that's going to look to reset things. Omni Knight, same thing, just Suicided, only level 2, so Ice is struggling to find XP and farm in his lane. Top lane, this is brutal. I mean, Jizing with low HP is just going in aggressive, knowing that the IO is there to back him up, and we'll see a salve split between the two, so Legion doesn't even have to use his salve. He can give his salve to the IO again. They've got so much shared HP regen that this lane is so difficult for Faceless.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the Black's getting nothing. He's still getting some CS, but it's just when you compare him to the Luna, you just see how much of a difference there is between the two safe lanes.
And you look at the CS chart, the top 3 are all on LGD's side. LGD are winning all 3 lanes right now. Mid lane's very even, and you can't really... calling that a win is a bit much, but you're expecting Jabs to have a slight CS lead because of the Ogre's involvement, but Ogre got dragged off, so the fact that SF is equal with an OD, in my mind, that's kind of a win as far as LGD are concerned.
Absolutely. The question really is just where the first blood is going to be spilt at the moment. I mean, Ice, we're seeing him getting brought down low each and every time, but he's playing it very, very careful. You know, it's calculated. He's making sure that he doesn't get caught out entirely. So he's still getting quite... He's getting stuck in on this bottom lane.
Yeah, Manny looks towards Ice, either him on the off lane or someone at the top lane. Someone like Victoria and the IO might get gone on, or they might be able to find a kill on someone like XY or even Black if LGD find an opening to get really aggressive. But as it stands, no kind of big impact runes just yet coming to play. OD got an invis, but he's kind of on his own, so he's just going to go back to the mid lane to continue farming.
Bottom lane again, Ice comes in with the purification and such, and this is not stopping IO farming. That's the main thing here. And well, top lane there we have it. That is your first blood. Bit of an underestimate there. The damage, the nuke damage that Jijing can get out with that. 2 points in and out this stage, and it absolutely ripped to pieces this lane of FL. They've got to be so careful how they clump up against the Legion.
Yep. Now IO buys the bottle from the side shop. He uses that to share some HP regen. He also gets healed by the press the attack. They've used 2 salves that they've shared, and now there's a bottle charge and a press the attack they're sharing. They can go so aggressive, trade hits, and they don't have to spend money on regen. Meanwhile, if Faceless want to stay in this lane, they have to buy more tangos, buy more salves. They can't sustain themselves in this lane, and that's really the power and strength of this IO offlane. That's why we saw Newbie dominate their game yesterday against NP with the IO Batrider, and we're seeing it here from LGD. They are crushing the laning stage because of this IO offlane. It's very different to like the way you see the Western teams. Like you see a lot of IO coming out from teams like EG. It's much more about playing around the mid lane, even sometimes the safe lane. But this style is something we're seeing a lot from the Chinese teams.
On top, Legion is now without the IO. Jijing.
Yeah, they want to try and take advantage of that.
Can actually take it down. He's got 1 point in the heal. Will it be enough already? The jump forward from Black. Jijing being brought low. He has the stick charges. Tries to run away with the bonus movement speed. The fairy fire as well. Is it enough? No, it's not. Not quite enough to keep him alive there. So Faceless will find themselves their first kill on the board. and it's
so
a good one to
close.
do as well.
That last right click was the last right instance of damage they'll get. Ogre wasn't close enough. Maybe he could have chased and hit another ignite, but that in itself was unlikely. else he had the movement speed from boots and overwhelming odds. That must have been so close to surviving. It was a coddle right click into a poor man's shield. It must have been like 1 or 2 damage just over the threshold.
I mean, it looked like it didn't proc, and if it did proc, he would have, maybe survived that one.
Barely enough damage to kill him down there. Really pushing it to the limit there. He had the fairy fire and stick charges, but couldn't quite survive. But again, he TP's right back up. They have to commit so much to kill him there. Now that the IO's back in this lane, he's going to still be doing better than what Faceless can do. They're going to have to kind of heal up, regroup, and then look to make another kind of concerted effort if they want to try and kill him. Slark's ideally probably telling his teammates, like, just leave me alone till I get my level 6, because you really want to get that Shadow Dance at this point so you can heal up in between overwhelming odds. The constant harass is really annoying for a Slark. He doesn't want to have to buy more HP regen. He just wants to get that level 6. So supports, they smoke mid, they leave Black the solo lane. Even though Black can't farm, he just wants XP.
And they may even get a kill out of this one if maybe he isn't too careful. Has to be very wary of Jabs closing the gap to get an Astral to set up a potential play from Faceless.
It's this siege creep, and maybe is going to get greedy going for it.
And here we are. They got the damage to bring him down, maybe. It's going to be brought down pretty low, but the backup is there from Victoria, and they can't quite finish off the SF. Victoria, we saw his saves in game 1, and looks like to be off to a good start here in game 2, being there just in time.
Yeah, that's nice rotation. Very well aware of the situation. Faceless brought in 4. They even TP'd the Omni Knight for that extra bit of damage output from the level 3 purification. So all that damage output from 4 heroes not enough to kill the SF, who loses a couple range drop charges, but that's what they're there for. They're there to save your life and turn those kind of around. LGD don't get any kills off of it, but they waste Faceless's time.
Well, top lane, as you said, Black has now found that level 6. And we'll see if he wants to kind of dip and dive in for a few CS at a time now. But Jing certainly still holding control of this top lane.
He's got 39 CS, 14 denies to the 26 CS of Slark. This is I mean, you see the kill score, you see it's like 8 minutes in, you're thinking most people would be like, oh, it's an even game.
I was going to try to go for a bit of that, but again, guess who's there? It's Victoria on the IO, and it makes it impossible for Faceless to get what they were looking for. He's up top, he's to the mid, he's up top. He seems to just sense when Faceless are going to get that taste for blood.
Game with very few kills in the laning stage, this is like as one side as it gets. This is a stomp so far. I mean, obviously there's things Faceless are going to be able to do once they get some items up, once they get some level timings, if they group up around the Omni Knight. Omni's a hero that gets very strong around that like level 7, 8, 9 mark when he's just got levels, so Faceless will look to use that to their advantage, but the laning stage has been a complete dominated affair by LGD.
Yeah, just look at the position Army's in. Yeah, nearly double the net worth of Black. Obviously now with going for the max glaives. No points in Eclipse yet, just maximising his farm potential as he goes around the jungle camps, keeps himself safe.
I've never seen this build before. This is a first for me, but I guess why not?
I guess it's good for the farm.
Yeah, it's good for the farm. I mean, this was something that it was actually asked yesterday by Bruno. He's like, how does the Moonglaive scale? At level 4, it goes up to 6
doubles.
bounces.
Yeah.
It goes from 1, 2, 3 to freaking 6 bounces.
That's how Valve count.
Well, normally it's 1, 2, 4 sticks, but yes.
Yeah, the person who counted this got fired. Yeah.
This spell gets absurd when it's maxed out. So he doesn't even max out the Lucent Beams. He just had 3 points in Lucent Beams to get that fourth point as early as possible, and then he went to the jungle. He gave the lane to Warlock, so we're seeing Warlock hit level 6.
It's
already
smart. It's and as you said, it's just something that we don't see teams doing, but it's incredibly efficient in terms of spreading the farm out across your teammates.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the numbers of this spell and it makes total sense, and you're just like, oh, I guess, why not do this? If you're not fighting, it does limit their kill potential on Ice, but if you ever throw an Eclipse, he's going to just instantly repel.
Yeah, exactly. It's a spell wasted.
We'll see.
Well, I mean, it'll be interesting to see when he does get the points. Is he just going to wait till the 10-11 point to get the double points in, or are we going to see the aura?
He got the Eclipse now at 9.
Oh, he did get the
Eclipse
now.
Eclipse at 9,
Okay.
he'll get Lucent Beam at 10, and then he'll get Eclipse level 2. So he's still going to have... The main thing with this hero is you only ever get 1 in Lunar Blessing, so by level 11 you have max Lucent Beam and you have max Moonglaves with level 2 Eclipse, because getting level 12 takes a huge amount of experience. But it doesn't really matter how you get there, because if you're going to just farm your way to a level 11 without fighting, then you may as well get the spell that helps you farm faster, the Moonglaive. So Yeah, it's a really smart build coming out from Arme, and I think LGD can just tell by the feel of this game. They're winning the farm battle.
Top lane immediately onto Black. They drop the rock down as well. LGD there in full force. Ice is TP'd across, trying to do something about this one. Jab standing up to the fight as well. Have to be a little bit careful though, Faceless. Let's see if they are actually able to punch back, get anything out of this one. The column falling low, but the Shadow Word heal is there from XZ to top the beast back up to full power.
They had a sentry they put down a little bit after the OG's TP in, so they won't be able to scat him out immediately. But Arme wasn't even there for that one. He's just chilling mid, he's farming, pushing out a bit. It's astraled up, but there's no follow-up, so LGD ideally want to get this top tier 1 tower, but even if they can't get it, they're dominating the farm so much, then they've got to be able to feel that. Like, I'm sure every core is just like, I'm winning my lane.
And Ice terrified there. Jijing runs at him and immediately Purify, Repel, GA, everything to keep himself alive. And the duel's back up. So in this play up top, LGD could potentially find 2 bonuses here for Jijing if Faceless aren't careful.
Yeah. Level 4 overwhelming odds. That'll catch both heroes.
So it's push onwards from LGD. I mean, very hard for Faceless to stop. Jabs is going to come back across to spot up Victoria Jijing at the duel. We'll see if he's able to use it. Good raises here from maybe getting massive amounts of damage out onto Faceless. Then force back Jijing, finds the duel on the perfect target, gets the Omni Knight. Ice is down. They move in for more, taking down Jabs. Nuts, hiding himself in the trees maybe. He's searching for him with these raises. The ball's flying just above the Nuts. But, oh, no, there's contact. Oh. They get another. I mean, it's already looking almost multiple times worse than game 1 here for a Faceless.
Yeah, it's one of the most one-sided games I've seen in a while. Yeah. So, I mean, again, it's not totally over. They won big team fight, you know, they get that comeback gold rolling, but you've won every single lane, and now you've won the first couple team fights. It's very rare you see team able to recover from losing 3 lanes.
It's just really, they get this raise off, and then Jijing, they're all low, but he knows, I've just got to get Ice out. He allows maybe to continue. And Victoria as well, we saw him in a position where he was incredibly low mana. He looked really vulnerable. Faces try and go for him, but he gets himself out, keeps the team topped up, and then as we saw at the end, just Nuts praying. But at the end of the day, that final kind of ball gives the vision, and they get themselves the kill on the Ogre as well.
It was a really tough position for Ice to be in, because he used the repel on Ogre, because if not, Ogre would have died there. And then he purified the OD, so he didn't have any of those spells to help. He was already low himself. He couldn't use either spell on himself. Perhaps he should just let the Ogre die and repel the OD, because that's the whole. When you look at this, that's the strat, right? This is the Omni OD. You repel the OD. He goes in. He kills a lot of people, and then you win the game. But he got forced to use the repel. So it's still just a level 1 repel. That's where ideally Ice wants to get a few more levels, but it's not even about levels or any items right now for Faceless. They've got to find some way to gank a high-value target, because they are losing the farm battle horrifically. 7.2k net worth Luna at 14 minutes in. This is some absurd farm for a Luna of all heroes.
Black down on the bottom lane. It's relatively safe. In terms of jump potential, they don't really have a huge amount of jump themselves, really. I guess it's kind of the speed that the IO can give out to. Remember, there's no blink daggers on the side yet, and also Legion with the phase, the speed from the overwhelming odds, she can close the gap. But Faces do have time to react, and a lot of the times, as we've seen in these fights, it's normally off the back of Black or Jabs trying to get themselves stuck in, or top lane like this. Jabs, he's left alone. He goes for the Astral and the TP out, and he will just make it in time. Nice little play there from Jabs, avoiding what would have been imminent death there coming out from LGD.
The Radiant Crew was lost elsewhere.
They had the full armlet on, I believe, for Jijing.
Yeah, that was the rest of it, which is unfortunate. More than anything, it's money for Faceless. They need that money bad. God, they'll take that. That's like a 800-ish gold swing going their way, and LGD not going to be two-phased. They'll just group up back down bottom. They've got the Warlock ultimate backup, so with Chaotic Offering, there's really very little way to win a team fight. They've even maxed out Fatal Bonds, so they're all about ensuring that these team fights go okay. A little bit of extra heal doesn't matter too much when you've already got the heal and sustain from IO, but damage output from a Fatal Bonds could be huge for them.
LGD, I'll get themselves more money in the bank as maybe clears out the tier 1 bottom. As we keep pointing our attention towards Arme, just he can go any route he wants to at this stage with Dragonlance Stone, 1800 gold on top of it. I imagine what will just go finish off the Manta style then after the Dragon Lance.
Yeah, Manta just pushing
Yeah.
seems fine.
Nice against the pounce.
Yep, good against the pounce, good against the blinding light. You can get rid of that, so that's always an annoying spell if you trying to go in, you get blinding lighted and you're hitting a building and suddenly you're missing, so being able to pop the Manta there can help. Alternatively, you go for like a BKB build and just have a casual Yasha. But,
Okay.
it doesn't really... Again, you're this far ahead. When you're seeing on 9k net worth and the Slark OD at 5k, build an Ag Scepter, you could build whatever. You could go straight Butterfly. All of those items work. It's just like small differences into how they function. SF's got 2.7, so he's gonna go into a Diffusal. No, so yeah, straight into Diffusal. Of course, you're against the Omni and
Diffusal SF, yeah.
it's like who builds it, the SF or the Luna. Luna's probably like, look, I'm gonna be the more pushing hero. I want to get the items that can tank me up, push buildings. You get the Diffusal SF. So this is going to nullify the repelled OD, and I talked about how he just needs a few levels. He's now got level 3 repel. It does give him a bit more potency in a team fight when he's repelling an OD who now has a 4-star, but that's going to be immediately countered. So a bit unfortunate for Faceless, but I don't see these next fights going too well when the Omni is going to be very limited in what he can do.
And the thing is as well, 30 seconds when that courier is back up for LGG, Jizing is going to have the money for the Blink as well.
Yeah.
So you're going to have Blink Armlet then on
Blink Armlet.
the Legion. That's something that...
Manta Dragonlance on Luna.
Yeah.
Luna's just bought the Manta recipe and has the bands back at base as well, so... Okay, I can see the difference in farm, XPM, GPM, all the numbers there. Black is... It's a story of Arme having the dream perfect game on Luna and Black having the worst, probably close to the worst possible game. He didn't die that much in lane, but he got his lane contested so hard. He lost the lane to an IO Legion. It was a 3v2 lane once the Ogre came top, and they still lost the lane, so very rough game for the Faceless carry player.
I'm trying to put a bit of pressure on here on this tier 1 top, but immediately as soon as there's any sign of life, Faceless just having to avoid LGD.
And I think LGD, once they get these couple items out, we'll be seeing a group up towards either the Roche Pit or some of these other towers. They want to ideally push out the lanes because they don't want to trade towers. They're so far ahead. It's like, let's try and take without having to give anything, and they'll have Legion pushing out top. Ideally, you can even like rotate with 3 heroes and have the IO +1 relocate in, of course, which is maybe what the IO and the SF have in mind down bottom. Does seem to be 3 heroes grouping up around that Radiant secret top, and they've got a smoke, so I think this is going to be the play from LGD. Smoke up as 3, and then relocate in, going for a big push, perhaps down towards the mid or bottom lane, or even towards the Roche Pit.
Yeah, I mean, this lineup now, this can take Roshan with pretty incredible speed. Mid lane jabs is going to be the target. Gets the force away, and that will actually save his life there. Jijing unable to get the duel off.
Yeah. They can just force it though, 5-man down the mid lane. Smoke didn't work, but they can still get the towers. The team Faceless's team fight is very lackluster. They will very likely just have to give up tower after tower, or force a very bad fight. I just don't see it. The ideal way to take the fight is you've got to burst that wall up, take the rock out of the picture, but to do so you're fighting into an Eclipse, into a Requiem, and Luna's about to be...
Jijing immediately jumps in, looking at the duel onto the OD there. Comes the Golem as well on the backline of it all with the Eclipse. OD is able to force himself away and survive, and turn attention towards Ice. Have a nice blast back. And Black even wants to try and go back in on this one. Closing on us and maybe revving up the old Black, taking a huge amount of damage, and he's dead. The Requiem and the raise to the face, bringing down Black, punishing his over-aggression there and his hunger to get stuck back in. End up losing not just the Ogre but the Slark as well, and that opens up LGD to start to do damage to Faceless's base.
Yeah, Black didn't really... It was one of those things where it's like, well, we've got to fight now or we don't fight at all, and well, now you force the fight, you lose it, suddenly you're losing a lane of racks, and... Dare I say it, it's GG right about now, as Faceless are going to have Lunatic Glaze bouncing all around their base. They'll lose a lane of racks at 20 minutes in, and the comeback potential for this lineup is almost non-existent.
Jijing is jumping in, duel after duel. And there's more bonus damage in the pocket for him, plus 34.
can
Unless
fall back. They did this without Roche.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I mean, they can. Yeah, there's nothing really that Faceless can do to stop them getting Roches in that. I mean, 30 seconds without the OD. That's 30 seconds. Roshan's gone. With his lineup.
Luna TP'd back to Fountain, which
Okay.
doesn't really help you, Roche, but it doesn't matter too much. Luna picked up the smoke for the team because they want to go make another aggressive move, but they're not a lineup that requires Roche to fight or to take towers if they have their ultimates. So Cole is potentially like, let's wait for the Warlock Rock and then go and take a team fight. We can chill, we can farm for a bit. Luna's got another Ancient stack, so do you really want to go push or go for a Roshan when there's like 1,500 gold worth of Ancients to farm as a Luna and a Butterfly to be farmed? It looks like the call is to fall back, wait the cooldowns, 60 seconds, then you go again. Warlock's got a Midas now, so the big thing there is that level 2 Rock is very close. He's just 400 XP away from having level 2 Chaotic Offering, and that's going to be around the time of the next Rock cooldown. He's going to have that next Midas usage, and it will be a level 2 Rock, ideally, for the next fight. Not that they need it.
I mean, not only Warlock's got a Midas, Ice as well. He's picked up himself one on the Omni Knight. So trying to maybe bank on the fact that Faces can keep this game going and allow the time for Black and Jabs to get into the position that they need to. XY does nearly have the Aghanims as well, another tool that's going to make it a little harder for LGD to get those jumps in onto Faceless when the high ground defenses come into play. But you know, as you mentioned, 21 minutes in, already being a racks down, it is already becoming increasingly harder and harder for Faceless to have a look at taking this game 2 and being able to bring this series to a game 3.
Yeah, I mean, LGD were just like 4 heroes bottom. Luna wasn't even there for it. Luna's like up top, just chilling, farming, sending Manta Illusions out to push the lane. Picks up the Eagle Song, so it will be a Butterfly, which is pretty much the nail in the coffin at that point as far as being able to end the game. It's not quite going to be completed just yet. Still has a bit of a ways to go, another 1,500 gold or so, but even without that item, I think LGD will be like, yeah, we can try and get that to push high ground with, but why not take these out of towers? Why not take a fight? We're so strong. All it takes is one good Blink Duel, and Faceless are in all sorts of trouble.
Jijing in the trees, ready for the jump through, and immediately is there. On to the Keeper of the Light. There'll be a 5 left to try and slow down the onslaught, but it's not going to save the Coral. Jijing getting the bonus damage. 2 heroes to full on Faceless, opening up potential for LGD to take a tier 2 and almost certainly move in for more. There'll be a buyback from the Coral.
That was nice. He went in blind there. There was no Radiant Vision in that area. He just said, there's a high chance there's a Coddle sitting here looking to illuminate down waves. I'm just going to go in and see what's there, because he knows he's got backup from an IO, from a Warlock Rock. Just went in blind. Good play, good calling from the team, backing each other up. LGD have got their second lane of racks now.
Jab's trying to do his best to stop this, but maybe immediately coming forward and just the damage he's pounding out with the Diffusal Blade. Not a lot that Ice do to hold back what the Shadow Fiend is enforcing on FL.
There's the Butterfly. They've still got ultis as well outside of the Warlock one. They TP back top, I think, probably making the call like, well, they're not going to GG out. Let's wait for another Warlock ultimate. Let's wait for a Roche. Why risk it? But and this is grim. This is pretty much impossible for Faceless to play. There's no real item or team fight hope. It's one of those things where if you're down 4 racks and you have this insane team fight wombo combo, you're like, okay, they've got to just hit these spells together, get the vacuum into the RP, into the black hole, and they'll win a fight. But it's like they've got what? It's a OD ultimate. That's really the summary of their team fight. The Guardian Angel, the Repel, are going to get countered by the Diffusal Blade. Luna was even carrying around a Satyr creep to purge with earlier. We may have lost it by now, but either way, it's not really a necessary thing to have in LGD. And this is just safe, calculated play from them. Pick up a mech, they pick up some more wards. They are looking to guarantee the win.
Black scouting things out here with the Shadow Blade, but I mean, can he really do something? He's looking towards trying to make a jump onto Victoria, immediately focusing down the IO, pops the Shadow Dance, tries to finish him off, but will get the kill, but immediately on the back lines, the duel for Jijing is there onto Jabs. They've lost the OD, Ice will go for the Repel, GA and TP out, will make it away. It's a 1-for-1 trade. I mean, even though it's an OD for an I don't know if you can see the fight recap, I wouldn't be surprised if the numbers actually favour. It's close. I was going to say, even though it's a
still
support
LGD favored.
for your core, yeah.
Still got 5 more gold.
Even though they're so far ahead at this stage.
Unfortunately, IO, one of the bottom net worth hero. If that was any other hero, maybe. Well, Warlock's pretty low net worth as well. And that's how you got to approach the fight. Kill the IO, kill the backline sustain heroes, kill either him or the Warlock, ideally both. Problem is those kind of trades where you trade a core for a support aren't really that valuable. If you trade a core for a core, that's actually okay for Faceless because you get so much gold for it. They'd probably get like 1,500 gold, maybe even 2k gold for killing this Luna or SF because of how far ahead they are.
And got Jijing actually looking towards Black
Going
and
by himself, yeah. Why
Black.
not?
He nearly survives with the Shadow Dance, but Victoria just relocates him with the balls and he just disappears. Maybe gets up the Requiem. Will be popped by the Sanity's Eclipse. Jijing jumping in, trying to finish off Jabs. Actually gets relocated out, and that's going to mean that he can't quite finish off the kill on the OD. But he does save his own life. Victoria saying, we're playing the safe game here. No throwing today, sir.
Pixie's dropping the rock at bottom though.
LGD just going all in here, and Faceless.
Not the best Karak offering, and they can't actually get that top lane of Rex with the tier 2 tower, but so he hits some tier 4s or even just fall back, wait the SF and be like, okay, we got our SF here, let's take it easy.
And that just waltz the Golem up to top. That final tier 2.
Yeah, clear out the tier 2, wait for your ultimates to come back up, you wait for your SF to come back up and then go again. The Aegis on Luna in the front lines is just basically unkillable at this point. They haven't got the damage, not going to have any kind of evasion, piercing abilities on either Slack or the OD. It's a very big problem for them. But I like this smoke move. They're going out there like we're 5v4. Are we ever going to have a better chance? Probably not. Let's go now. Let's go fast.
I'll see what they can find here. Black leading the way, repelled up. Arme coming in with the Mantis Star, the Eclipse as well. Note just pops there to the beams flying down from the skies. Size to be dropped as well. Black was able to finish off the Warlock on the back lines of it all. So Jijing setting up with the BKB, looking towards Jabs. Isn't actually going to go for that as Arme turns his attention towards Black on the slot. Black has the Shadow Dance. Arme being brought down low. Jabs is going to get dropped though. Arme survives. Victoria turns up in time to top the Luna back up. Black's on his way back to base, but the rest of his teammates are down. Black doing anything here on his own. He doesn't have the Shadow Dance. He will jump in for a couple of touches onto Arme. With the evasion and the armor he's got because of the Agi, it's all too much for Faceless. GG is called. LGD turning up today, showing us a very, very strong performance. A lot of people anticipated this team coming in at last minute to be a bit of a titan, and already in this first series we're seeing exactly why people had high hopes for them.
Yeah, there's one of those teams